Hello, and welcome to a class of yoga in containment. Why containment? Well, many of us are isolated, quarantined, and I wanted to share some time with you today in a very slow-moving, an energizing, a strengthening, a calming, a grounding practice of yoga. So, welcome, namaste, wherever you are. And one of the important things about to remember as we're practicing is that as much as we are moving our bodies, it is also about moving our breath. And in times of instability and uncertainty, sometimes we clench our bodies, we clench our breath. So we'd like to really try to open up our bodies and our breath into a little bit more expansiveness, movement, grace, and push out maybe the boundaries that we feel are surrounding us. So first I invite you to get down on a mat if you have one, and if you don't worry, just a piece of floor is also very much workable. If you have a blanket or a bolster or a pillow, something to give you a little bit of height and a little bit of comfort, feel free to use that as well under your rear, and then just try to pull out the fat so that you're really feeling your sits bones right on the mat or on the bolster. And come into a very straight and still position. Make sure that your back is straight. Bring your shoulders to the back. Open up your heart. Place your hands lightly on your knees or on thighs, wherever is most comfortable for them to go. And then just very slowly close your eyes and try to find your breath wherever it might be. Perhaps it's a really quick and very shallow breath. But let's take a few breaths to slow down our breathing pattern. So inhale through the nose, deep inhale, and exhale through the mouth. Another inhale through the nose. Exhale. Deep inhale. And exhale. And slowly open your eyes, and we want to move that breath through our body. So let's just start to help loosen up some of our shoulders and our head by doing some head rolls. So bring your neck down, fold your neck over to the chest, and slowly bring it around, loosening up a little bit the tension that you might feel in your neck space. And do these head rolls so you're giving your head, your neck, your whole upper chest a little bit more space, and then slowly bring it around to the other direction. Give your head and your neck the gift of slowing down, finding space within. And then back and curve it forward. You can also curve your body a little bit to really close it in and then open it up. So again, head up and back, and up and close, curve over. Once again, up, sit up straight, head back, and up and over. Great, and sit up straight again. And now what we're going to do is really try to move our shoulders. So really you're opening up, not only your chest opening, but you're really trying to take out the knots that are in your shoulders. So let's loop them around. Let's give them a loving circle, each one together or separately, and back, around a few times. Great. Now, to give ourselves a little bit more stretch, take your right hand, and I'll be mirroring you, so take your right hand and put it down on the ground just behind you, very lightly, but your palm open and down on the ground. And with your left arm, lift it up straight, and make sure your whole body is feeling that it is being pulled up, as if by a string. So really you're lifting yourself up. So pull up your left arm, and then very slowly, letting your right hand elbow bend a little bit, lean over. I don't want you to fold over so much. That's not the point, just to fold over, but to really feel the stretch in here, the opening. So bring up that arm straight and then lean it over so that you feel that stretch on the side of your body. So you're really pulling up and a little bit to the side and back to the center. Your left arm goes down. Your right arm goes up. Left arm is behind you. Right arm up. And again, feeling that stretch coming up through the body. I want you to pull yourself up, stretch up that hand, and lean over. Really feeling that stretch up more than over. Feel that? Some opening up through the ribs. And come back down. Great. Now with your left hand, bring it around, put it on your left hand, put it on your right knee, and with your right arm, again, all the way to the back, palm down on the mat. I want you to lift up through your body. So we're not going to be slouching. We do enough of that in front of our computers and on our phones. So really feel yourself lifting up through the chest, through the stomach, through your ribs. And as you lift, you really feel like you lift it up, and I want you to twist over to the right. So the point isn't to go all the way to the back, but really to feel that you're still pulling up, opening up your chest, keep your shoulders back, your shoulder blades are coming close to each other, and twist as you can. And again, as you take an inhale, stretch up. And when you exhale, take a little bit more of a twist. And again, inhale, stretching up. And exhale, twisting. And come back to center. Put your left hand palm down on the mat behind you, and your right hand on your opposite knee. And again, you're feeling that pull up. Just really picture yourself stretching out of your torso. And inhale, stretch up straight, and exhale, turn. And inhale, pull yourself up in the body, open up your shoulders, give yourself some opened up space in your chest, and exhale, twist a little more. Inhale, and exhale. Very good, and come back to the center. Take both your hands, clasp them together, interlock your fingers, stretch them out in front of you. You want to tuck your shoulders back in. You don't want to curve over this way, so tuck your shoulders back in. Make sure your hands are stretched out really strong so your palms are right out in the open air and you feel the strength. Your arms are activated, so feel that strength in your upper arms. And then inhale and lift your arms up. And again, you're trying to keep everything straight and aligned and lifting up out of your torso. So you're really giving your body some opening and some air. And bring down. And then interlock the other way. So not your natural way when you clasp your fingers together. See what that is, and then do the opposite way. So interlock the fingers that way. Stretch them in front. Inhale, up. Really keeping your arms as straight and activated as you can. And bring it down. Very good. Okay. So now if you do have a pillow or a bolster or anything under your rear, you can remove that. And we're going to go into all fours. Some of you, if you've practiced yoga before, you may have heard of, or you may have done some cat and cow. So what you're going to do is open up your palms of your hand, putting them down on the floor, on the mat, right, or on the floor, right underneath your shoulders. And then on your knees, they're going to be separate, right? Your legs are going to be parallel to each other, not too close, but about hip width apart. And then I want you to have try to imagine your back being as straight as it can be, and look ahead of you and really find your breath in that position, like a tabletop position. Find your breath and stay there for a moment, and then curve your back slowly. So you're really giving your back a nice big stretch. Your spine is getting a really nice stretch as you do that. That's a big inhale, and then exhale. And you want to arch your back, just like that. So you're really trying to give your spine the movement that it needs from being maybe so stagnant, not really moving in many ways. And again, curve down under, head goes down, your neck to the chest, and arch your back. Great. Make sure that you really are connected to your body and to your breath. One more time. And arch your back. Don't forget to breathe. That's a really important component of all of this. All right, so another really important part of this practice to give us a lot more opening and breath and movement in our body is downward dog. So what I'd like you to do is tuck your toes in and then move your palms of your hand a little bit further ahead of you. And what you're going to do is lift your hips so that you're still in a bending position. Your knees are slightly bent and your arms always stay straight. Always want to keep them straight. Don't over flex them, but you want your elbows to be facing each other. Make sure they're strongly planted into the ground. And then ever so slowly lift your hips up to the sky, and you can stay on your toes. Stay on your toes and just make sure that you're really activating your legs and you're starting to feel more movement and strength in the legs and opening. If you need to, you can move your legs a little bit further back. If you'd like to stay there up on your toes, that's fine. If you need a little bit of bend in your knees, that's fine. Otherwise, see if you can start to bring the heels down to the mat, but without, as much as possible, without lowering the height of your hips. So you want to keep your hips up as high as possible and bring the heels down to the mat, down to the ground. And really feel that your chest is coming down to the mat, your arms stay planted, your palms stay planted on the ground. And breathe in that position and make sure that you can feel how the breath is moving through your body, up and down your spine. You want to find a strength there and a beauty of breath in that position. And if it's ever too hard for you, come down basically on half a knee or down, and you could always go down into child's pose. If you don't know what child's pose is, you're down on your knees, you're a little bit open up. You're not holding your knees tight together, but you're a little bit open. Toes are touching in the back. You lean back onto the soles of your feet and your hands stay up front and your forehead is down on the mat. And take some deep breaths there. Really feel that the breath and the chi is moving, the chi, the energy that's flowing through the body. If you can feel some of it starting to awaken your body, that's the point. You really want the movement of chi in your body. And then when you're ready, come back up onto fours and back into Adho Mukha. Adho Mukha Vasana is downward dog. Just for a moment there, find your spot, your sweet spot in the downward dog if you found it already. And then lift your, I guess it's not exactly mirroring right now, but lift your right leg a little bit. Doesn't have to be too high. And then slowly bring it in front of you until you can put it down on the ground in a bent position like this. This is called like a low lunge. And if you like, if that's too forceful for you, you can put the left knee down on the ground. And then if you can sit up, put your hands on your knees, and then your hands go up. And again, it's giving you a stretch up here. It's giving you a stretch in the legs. If you want, you can lean forward. You can find your balance. And if that feels good for you, make sure you're pulling your arms right up, as if up towards the sky, the ceiling. And breathe when you're in that position. Very nice. And then come back down with your palms onto the mat. Your right foot goes back. The left foot, up into Adho Mukha, which is downward dog. Breathe. Make sure you're feeling some movement in your body. A lot of that has to do with the breath. So be particularly conscious of how you're breathing, that it's slow down and that it's very intentional. Your left leg goes up, very slowly, intentionally, through to the front. Bend it and put it down on the mat. Your right knee can go down onto the mat as well if you like, or it can stay up. Might be too hard for you, but that's okay. Hard, easy, we do whatever our body is giving us a message to do. And again, you go up, your hands first onto the knee so you can get your balance also. I have a bee that's playing with me. And then your hands go right up. Really feel that stretch going up towards the sky or the ceiling. You can look up also if you feel like you have your balance. And breathe here. And the hands come back down onto the mat. And then I want you to take your left foot to the back, and if you can, it's a plank position with your palms planted under your shoulders just for a moment there, and then your knees go down. Just like that. If you have the strength and you want to try it again, go back up into plank, but otherwise on the knees is fine, and let's go down into child's pose. So your toes together, your knees slightly apart, you're leaning back, your hands stretched out in front of you. Make sure you don't forget to breathe. Forehead down on the mat. And rest there in child's pose for a couple of breaths. The point of doing this yoga practice is really to be good to our body, to find something else to do with our minds, to focus inwards, to be good to our bodies, to be good to our breath. It's really the chi, the energy that really gets us through every day, not just our minds and our brains, but our spirits and our chi. Okay, so let's come back up now. And I invite you to stand at the front of your mats, or I'll be facing this way, even though you can't see me. Oh goodness. Oh, I see. Well then, maybe we won't do standing position in this particular video. So what we will do instead is practice makes practice. What we will do instead is we will do some poses on the back, I believe. Let's see how I can just modify that. So yeah, so let's go instead onto our backs. So lie on your back in a comfortable position, and as you're trying to find the best position for yourself, put your hands under your rear and then bring the skin of your rear as far down towards your feet as you can, so you're really lengthening your spine as much as possible. You're not sort of crunching it up with what's down there. So you're really lengthening the spine, and then straighten your legs until they're on the mat or even beyond the mat. And then take your hands and really stretch them up over your head and as much as you can. So what you're looking for is a deep stretch, a pull and a stretch from the bottoms of your feet all the way to your hands, to the tips of your fingers. And you want to activate your arms so they're really strong. You can put the backs of your palms on the floor, and the soles of your feet are facing outward. So you have your toes up to the sky, and you're activating so that you're activating your legs, so your thighs are pushing down as far as they can reach to the ground. So everything is activated, and you're really helping that activation by your breath. So let's take a few breaths in that position. I hope that by now your breath has really slowed down somewhat. And now what we're going to do is lift your right leg up and then grab it with your hands. And then just hold it a little bit close into your chest area. And breathe. And then see if you can straighten it. If you can't fully straighten it without bending the other knee, go ahead and do that. It's perfectly fine. And then as you straighten the leg that's lifted up, clasp your fingers and put them behind the leg. And that way you can really feel a stretch to your straight leg. And there's a real opening here. So you're feeling the back of your leg activated all the way up to your toes. Great. And bring that back down. Straighten the other leg. Bring the left leg into the chest. Clasp your fingers and hold it into your chest. And as you bring it up, clasp your fingers behind it. You can bend the other leg if you like. And this one stays, the straight leg goes up and straight and is activated. Really activate that leg so you can feel it right from the back. The whole thigh is really activated and strong, as is the front. And really sort of, you don't have to pull it towards yourself too far, but just really feel that it's activated and strong. And it's the breath that is the source of all the movement. So very nice. Bring that down. Great. And both legs straight. Now take both legs and bend them so that your heels come as close to your rear as possible, to your buttock as possible. And they're parallel to each other. Parallel to each other. And your hands will be planted down onto the mat. And what you will be doing is bridge. And if you haven't done a bridge before, what you're really trying to do is lift from your core, using your core, but you're lifting starting from your hips. And you're going to be creating an opening, like a real stretch and opening for your chest and your whole torso. So what you'd like to do is lift from the hips. Hips go up very slowly, very mindfully. And then both hands come together, the palms of the hands come together and clasp. The fingers clasp each other right underneath your butt, basically. So you want to clasp them, and then that will help you bring the shoulders closer into each other. So wait there for a moment, see if you can get that position where you feel like your shoulders, your whole heart is very open. And then as you can, very slowly begin to lift your hips up. Make sure your feet stay planted very solidly on the ground. Lift up your hips, and your hands, as they're clasped, are really pushing down to the ground. If you can't even go this high and you can't stay this long, by all means come back down to the ground. Try it again if you can, if you like to. Otherwise, if you're still up there and you want a little bit of a stronger stretch to that, you could also lift one leg at a time and bring it down, and another leg, and bring that down, and a last opening like this to your chest, And separate your hands, the palms of your hands, and down to the ground. Something is beeping. I hope it will stop. What might that be? And so, I think now we will go into Shavasana, which is corpse pose, which is how we like to end our classes. If you've done a class before, you'll know this is the resting pose at the end of a class. So let's just stay here for a couple of moments. You can close your eyes, make sure that your legs are straight in front of you, but open. It was a really relaxing pose. So just open up your feet to either side. You can put your hands on either side of you or put them on your abdomen if you like as well. Keep everything open and relaxed and close your eyes. This is really a way to show yourself compassion and love, being gentle with yourself, saying thank you for taking part in this session with your body, with your spirit, your soul. If you'd like to stay here a little longer, of course you're welcome to do so. Otherwise, I invite you to slowly turn onto your side, using your right arm as a pillow and your left palm down on the mat or on the ground. Use it to help yourself come back up and into a seating position. Position. Here we are at the end of the class. Let's put our hands together in prayer position and connect to ourselves here at the end of the class also. I'd like to thank you very much for joining me today. I wish you peace. I wish you calm, moments of calm at least. I wish you good health, safety, and a beautiful day. Thank you. Namaste.